What's up YouTube? We got another X and Y Wi-Fi battle for you. Today we're up against Derpki. She started in several battles and of course she is a big contributor to this channel. So thumbs up for Derpki. Anyways, this is probably one of the best battles I've had. I know that's saying a lot, but believe me when I say it, this is probably one of the best battles. I'm not gonna lie. She has a pretty awesome team, very well balanced mixed tier team, very good coverage, and so I decided to bring one too. Derpki is one hell of a battler, so I didn't want to bring anything that'll, potentially ruin me, so I'm gonna give it all my best, and she's gonna give it all my best, so. She's gonna lead off with the Choice Scarf Victini. How do I know it's Choice Scarf? Well, I mean, obviously, I knew it towards the end, but I also knew it because I sent out my Zubat, and it has Frisk, so. Turns out that it has Choice Scarf. Sometimes Frisk, Noivern is actually pretty useful instead of Infiltrator. I'm gonna go for my strongest attack and hopefully to kill, but of course it doesn't, so. If I had used Choice Specs, I may have killed. Actually, I am Choice Specs, damn it. It still doesn't kill. God damn you, Victini. Victini doesn't kill me either. It's a 3-hit KO actually, but she gets a paralysis. And she dies to stay in. I'm like, wow, you're a big gambler. You need to get either a critical or a paralysis. And she gets a critical, so. Unfortunately, Noivern dies to a very unlucky critical. But hey, that's okay. I'm going to send out my Ambipom now. I'm going to use that fake out. And she has no ghost types whatsoever, so nothing is going to stop this fake out. She's going to send out her physical while her Cresselia is going to eat this fake out very well, actually. Maybe I should have packed normal gem. Maybe that'll do a little bit more, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. This Cresselia does way too much. I'm going to go for my last resort. I don't know what this Cresselia is going to do. Maybe it's going to go for Calm Mind, maybe it's going to just attack me, maybe it's going to go for Toxic. And unfortunately, it does go for a Toxic, so. This Cresselia also does have leftovers, so with leftovers, it's sitting at a very comfortable range, so I don't think I can kill with another last resort unless I get a critical, so. She could probably stall me out all day. She probably has Wish, so, I mean not Wish, Moonlight, so I don't want to stay in and get Toxiced, so I'm going to switch into my Ball of Pain in case that she goes for the, Moonlight, and it turns out she does go for Moonlight, so I'm free to use Encore now and trap it and just make it waste all of its PP. And I thought she was gonna switch out because I didn't think she was gonna want to get trapped, but she decided to just go straight for the Psychic, so a pretty awesome play there for her. It's gonna break my substitute, unfortunately, so now I thought, well, going for another substitute might be wise in case she wants to go for Toxic, but it's a little too obvious, so I'm just going to go for my Leech Seed. Luckily, I do land it. Sometimes I never land my Leech Seed. It can get so annoying. Oh, bear in mind, this battle is quite long. It's like around 56 turns, so yeah, I'm still going to show you this battle, whether you like it or not, man, because it's one hell of a battle, and you guys should watch it towards the end. Gonna grab some more Leech Seed from it. Cresselia does have pretty high HP, so I'm able to grab a lot of HP. I'm gonna use Protect. This time I'm running Protect, not Moonblast, and it turns out pretty useful in this battle. I'm gonna go for a Psychic. So here I thought I'm in a pretty comfortable position. I can go for a Substitute in case she goes for a Toxic, but like I said, Substitute is way too obvious, so I'm pretty sure she's gonna switch out, so I'm just gonna use Leech Seed. Since she is trapped to Leech Seeds, she needs to switch out, man. It's not going to save her anytime soon, so I'm going to use Leech Seed, expecting her to switch out, but she doesn't, and she goes for Toxic. I'm like, how the hell did you see that? I overpredicted yet again. I overpredict on so many battles, and it doesn't do you well if you overpredict, man. I should have just not overpredicted and just go straight for the substitute, so. Yeah, now she's going to use Toxic, and I am going to get her to Toxic, but at least now I can just Encore her. Since I already Toxic did, might as well just Encore her so that she will just keep using Toxic, and naturally Leech Seed will get hurts too. I mean, potentially she could stay in. I mean, theoretically she could stay in and just get Encored and just stay in while I just die to poison, because towards the end the person that gets hurt the most is actually my Whimsicott, not her Cresselia, so she could stay in. But I'm gonna switch out because if she wants to stay in and just keeps using Toxic, that's fine, because I do have another Pokemon that is poison, so. But she decides to stay in, so pretty wise of her. But like I mentioned, she doesn't have anything that can take a fake out as well as this Cresselia. So switching into my Ambipom was a wise play there. I'm gonna go straight for a fake out. It's gonna break this Vivillon's Focus Sash. It was pretty awesome. I get a flinch. I mean, not a flinch. Well, obviously I get a flinch, but I also get a critical, which is hilarious. But it doesn't really matter because I outspeed this Vivillon and kill it with a last resort. So I'm pretty glad I got rid of this Vivillon. Vivillon can be a tremendous pain in the ass, man. It can be a huge mid-game or a late-game sweeper, so it's pretty awesome to get rid of it. Here comes the Choice Scarf Victini. It's Choice Scarf. I don't want to get killed. I don't want to get revenge killed. Even a U-turn can probably kill me, so I'm just going to send out my Arcanine, expecting that U-turn can drop its attack, so this U-turn will absolutely do nothing. She's going to get switch priority though, but at least this U-turn won't do anything, so... And I'm carrying the leftovers on my Arcanine, so... Pretty much this U-turn doesn't do anything since I do gain it back with leftovers. She's going to switch out, and obviously she's going to switch into her Lanturn. This Lanturn is fucking amazing. I don't know why Lanturn is NU now. It used to be RU back in Gen 5, now it's back to... Now it's going back to NU, and Lanturn is just so good. Lanturn is such a good Pokemon. Gonna go for a Thunderbolt. And here, I didn't want to overpredict because I'm going to overpredict this whole battle and it's just going to cost me. So this turn, I'm like, fuck this shit, man. I'm just going to use Encore. So this Lanturn will be stuck into Thunderbolt and I could just Leech Seed it out. But she predicts that, so yeah, I should have. Oh, actually, I don't go for Encore. I overpredict yet again and it actually saved me. So yeah, pretty awesome there. I'm so glad that I didn't overpredict. I mean, that I did counter predict, so... Yeah, I thought she was going to switch out, and in fact she does. She goes back into her Victini. It's a Choice Scarf, but, you know, I do have that Protect, so I'm going to just go straight for Protect. So she has no choice but to pretty much let it die, or she could have switched out, but seeing how low that, you know, Victini has, yeah, she's just going to let it die. I'm just kind of glad that I gave it Protect. I mean, I could have just went for the Prankster substitute and pretty much kill this Victini, but, you know, it doesn't matter. Actually, no, if Victini went for U-turn, it'll just break... It won't even break myself, but it'll probably leave so that the Leech Seed does not kill it. So it still have that speck of HP, but good thing I did have that Protect. It's going to go into the Lanturn, and I know that Lanturn might have Ice Beam, but I thought using substitute is a little too, or I mean, sorry, switching out is too obvious. So I thought, okay, she's probably going to use Volt Switch, but I overpredicted yes again, and she didn't use Volt Switch. She went straight for the Ice Beam. So yeah, not wise to overpredict so much, man. Let me tell you guys, I always overpredict when I'm fighting like really good players, like especially Derpki. Prediction is, you know, key to Pokemon, but yeah, it'll cost you if you overpredict. So I'm at pretty low HP, but I still want to save my Whimsicott since it's still pretty fast with Prankster and it's useful. Gonna switch into my Milotic, and she makes a double switch, or she just doesn't want to get sapped by Leech Seed. She switches into her Cinccino. It's an excellent play there because her Cinccino has really good coverage around my whole team. I decided to stay in because I knew she wasn't going to use Bullet Seed. It's just way too obvious. I have that Arcanine chilling back, so I do thought that she was going to use Rock Blast, so I thought I was going to stay in, but I get flinched, so... Her Cinccino is carrying the King's Rock, and it's a huge pain in the ass, honestly. Here I thought, okay, maybe she won't go for Rock Blast twice, you know? It's too obvious, but I didn't want to switch into my Arcanine just yet, so I'm just going to let my Whimsicott die. I'm going to fodder it off, so I can bring in something fresh to possibly counter this Cinccino. Unfortunately, Whimsicott dies. Kind of sad, since Whimsicott is just so good, and, you know, it just kind of traps her whole team. Gonna send out my Ambipom now. She has Protect. I'm like, fuck. Now my Fake Out doesn't work anymore. So now I can't even use Last Resort. So I'm in a huge pickle now. I have to switch out. So I didn't know that she has the... Actually, oh, I'm sorry about that. My Last Resort does work. And luckily, I break the speed tie. We are both timid nature and we both have the same amount of speed. And luckily, I do break the speed tie. So I'm so glad I did finish off this Cinccino. Last Resort is just way too powerful. Silk Scarf, Ambipom with Last Resort. Here, I thought she's going to probably go for a D-Dance, but I needed to switch out because I want to drop his attack with Intimidate with my Arcanine. And plus, my Arcanine has that Willow Whip, so So yeah, she's gonna use her Dragon Dance, but I didn't give a shit because, you know, this Dragonite is just back at neutral, so it's just a really fast Dragonite. Gonna go for another Dragonite, so she's expecting to be burned. So she's gonna, you know, keep using Dragon Dance, but I'm just like, okay, I don't really mind because even if you got +1, this Will-O-Wisp will drop you back down to negative. But as you'll see, she has Lumber. That is why she was so determined to stay in. And I knew she's not going to go for another Dragon Dance. She's going to go for the Earthquake. I know she's carrying the Earthquake. I have no choice but to let something die. I have nothing that can fly anymore because my Noivern died way too early, thanks to that unlucky critical. So I had to let my Ambipom die. It's really sad, but I didn't want to get Earthquake. I didn't want to have a +1 Earthquake. So at least I can now freshly, safely bring out my Arcanine. So it'll drop her attack back to 0, and now she's afraid. She's afraid of that Will-O-Wisp, so she's going to send out her Cresselia, and this Cresselia is such a huge pain in the ass. So we have 3 Pokemon left, I believe. She has the Cresselia, the Lanturn, and the Dragonite. And I have Arcanine, Milotic, and what is that? Murkow. Yeah, you guys haven't seen Murkow just yet. It will come out later. So I do get Toxicted, but I want to burn it at least. I don't have anything that can break this Cresselia, honestly. I don't have a Stall Breaker, nor do I have anything that's toxic, which is a big regret now. Now I'm just thinking about it. It's a huge regret. I mean, honestly, I should have brought a Stall Breaker. I should have brought something that can just toxic something. I think every battle you should always have something that can break stalls, and in this case, Cresselia is a major stall. So I have nothing for it anymore. My last 3 Pokemon aren't heavy hitters, so I have to burn this Cresselia, which finally I did land my burn, and potentially just let it use Moonlight until the PP runs out. That's why this battle is quite long. However, it's still a really good battle. I'm going to switch into my Milotic now because she's setting up Calm Mind, so I want to just use Dragon Tail and kind of switch it out. It's kind of unwise and a little bit risky for me to use Dragon Tail because she does have that Lanturn, and that Lanturn will demolish all the last 3 of my Pokemon. It demolishes my Milotic. It, you know, ruins my Arcanine and of course my Murkow. So I mean, Lanturn is just it's such a unique Pokemon with such great typing. So that's why she decides to save it, but she's adamant about staying in, and she doesn't know that I'm carrying the Dragon Tail. So luckily my Dragon Tail does hit, so I can end this calm-minding Cresselia, and I'm just praying, please don't send out the Lanturn. And thankfully she sends out her Dragonite, which is hilarious because Dragonite is not even a huge threat to my party at all. Like I just went for a Dragon Tail in case she wanted to switch out, because I could have went for Ice Beam. Ice Beam was so obvious. But it didn't even matter because if I had used Ice Beam, it wouldn't have killed anyway, since Dragonite does have that multi-scale. And I'm not specially offensive, so I'm not invested in any special attacks. So now she sends up back her Cresselia, which is alright, you know, at least it's not that Lanturn. Lanturn will just Volt Switch and pretty much like kill my whole team. So at least she's not sending her Lanturn. She's gonna keep setting up her Cresselia. Gonna go for a Toxic now. I really should have just switched into my Arcanine, but I decided to just go for a Scald to do as much as I can. Since she doesn't have any Calm Mind, the Scald will do an alright damage, and plus she gets burned. So I really just want to pressure this Cresselia to use Moonlight, and that's why I decided to stay in and just go for the Scald. But I hate how this Cresselia is faster than me too. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, Cresselia just looks so fucking slow and weird. I don't know why. I mean, I should have maybe invested speed in my Milotic to outspeed things like Cresselia, but you know, whatever. I'm gonna go for a Scald again because, well, I need to get rid of this Cresselia ASAP by pressuring it to use Moonlight. I have nothing that can one-shot this Cresselia, so my best bet is to just keep pressuring it with attacks and let it, you know, hurt itself with residual burn damage. But at the same time, I am Toxic, so I need to switch out soon. I can't really stay in for too long, so yeah, I don't want to send out my Murkow just yet in case she does predict and go for a Toxic. So gonna go for another Scald because at this range Toxic isn't racking up too high yet, so I can afford to keep using Scald. And now I'm dropping it to below half, so I'm predicting that she is gonna go for a Moonlight this turn, Or maybe not, you know, I really don't know. I mean, this Cresselia has such weird movesets. It has Toxic, yet it also has Calm Mind, so. But it turns out to be pretty fucking annoying and pretty tough, so. I thought she was gonna go for Moonlight, so that's why I just go for the Recover. But, you know, she decides to go for the Psychic, so. Maybe I should have just went for a Skull, and there's maybe a good chance I could have killed, maybe not, so. Now I don't think I'm going to kill because she's going to use Moonlight, and of course this Cresselia does outspeed me, so unfortunately this toxic damage is racking up way too high, so I'm expecting the Moonlight now because she has no choice because the Skull will easily kill it, so gonna use that Moonlight. At least I do have a free turn of not getting hit, so gonna go for a Dragon Tail because I'm kind of sick of this shit, and honestly I don't want it to have it set up anymore, so she sends out the Dragonite yet again, so I'm kind of glad it's not the Lanturn. I don't know what this Dragonite is gonna do. It could either switch out, or it could stay in and just go for a D-Dance, or it could just straight up attack me. But she decides to switch out, so, and she kind of made a good play on that because she has every right to, because this Ice Beam doesn't do anything to this Cresselia, and this toxic damage is doing way too much damage to me, so after this turn, after using this Ice Beam, I have no choice but to switch out, so pretty smart of her to stay in, I mean not stay in, switch out. So yeah, this toxic is doing way too much, so even if I keep using Recover, I'm just gonna die to Toxic probably in this turn or in, you know, 2 turns, so I have to switch out. I'm expecting the Psychic, so I'm gonna switch into my Murkow, and I expected and I did, so pretty awesome there, but I don't want to get poisoned, so I'm gonna have to switch back out because my Murkow is not carrying Taunt. My Murkow is a special sweeper, so with Calm Mind and all that fancy jazz, so gonna switch back into my Milotic to predict that Toxic, so good predictions there, pretty good predictions, but predictions alone is not gonna do it. I need some kind of luck too at the same time. Yeah, this toxic damage is doing quite a lot, and I'm not sure if I can live another Psychic. She hasn't set up any Calm Minds though. But luckily for me, she goes for a Moonlight, so I'm free to go for Recover. Had she went for the Psychic, I may have been a goner. She might have killed me. But luckily, she goes for Moonlight, so I'm able to go for a Recover. But however, for her to go for Moonlight doesn't actually mean that's a good thing, because she's just getting massive HP back. So things are not looking back. No, things are not looking too good. I have to go back to the drawing board and hurt this Cresselia. So, like I mentioned, this is one big of a crab battle, but hang in there, guys. The end is pretty amazing. So, if you guys skip to the end, it's not gonna justify it. You guys gotta watch the entire battle. If you guys just skip to the end, you guys won't know what happens towards, you know, mid game. So, yeah, since I am Toxic, however, I do activate Marvel Scale, so maybe the Psychic won't kill me. Psychic literally does nothing since I do have Marvel Scale, but honestly, I hate being Toxic. I wish I could have just been anything else but Toxic. Marvel Scale is great unless you're Toxic. There's nothing good about being Toxic, honestly, unless you're like a guts person and you carry a Toxic Orb or whatnot. Gonna switch into my Butch because, well, I don't want to get Toxic damage racked up like, you know, last time, so I'm gonna have to switch out my Arcanine and Milotic back and forth. So she's gonna set up Calm Mind now, which is questionable because I can send out my Milotic anytime and just Dragon Tail, or maybe that's exactly what she wants. She wants me to kind of lure her by using Dragon Tail and summon her Lanturn and pretty much sweep my team. I don't know. I don't know what to do with the Lanturn yet, honestly. I haven't really thought of about that because at this point, this Cresselia is being such a big pain in the ass that I didn't even think about the Lanturn chilling in the back. So she's gonna use Calm Mind. It's like +2 special defense now. Honestly, I thought she was gonna use Psychic. That's why I switched into my Murkow. So I'm gonna stay in and just go for a Dark Pulse, because I don't want her to keep setting up, so I'm just praying that she doesn't use Toxic, but she does, and I avoid it. I'm like, oh, fuck yes, so Now I do a pretty decent chunky when she has that +2, but it's because I get that critical, so. Here she has no choice but go for a Moonlight unless she wants to die. Because this burn damage, at this range, Dark Pulse, a non-critical Dark Pulse will kill it, so she's gonna go for the Moonlight. And of course she'll outspeed me, so I have nothing to do there and just kind of, well, let her do her Moonlight. So at least I can get a free switch in. You know, it's sometimes a good thing for your opponents to heal because, well, it's inevitable, but at least you can get a free switch in, so. Now I'm gonna probably go for a Scald or a Dragon Tail. I don't know, honestly. Dragon Tail is so tempting, yet I really don't want to send out that Lanturn. I want Lanturn to, I don't know what to do. It's not wise for me to send out Lanturn. Basically, this match really does suck for my team. If I have like one more Pokemon, like an Ambipom or Whimsicott or even Noivern, it would help me so much more since her team is just, you know, out typing my team. So now I'm gonna get hurt more from toxic damage, so it's racking up and I am at below half. So we are both below half, so I can go for the recover and she can go for a Moonlight. So I'm just gonna go straight into my Murkow in case she wants to go for a Sidekick. She can go for a Moonlight, but she goes for a Toxic. I'm like, damn, how did you know that? She had so many other reasons for not using Toxic. She could have went for a Moonlight because, well, she's below half, so naturally she should go for a Moonlight, or she could have just went for a Psychic to kind of pressure me and get hurt, you know? But she went for a Toxic, and she knew that I was going to switch into a Murkow, so really good play on her part there. Really good play. So she's going to set up Calm Mind now because, well, my Milotic is no longer in the field, so she's free to use Calm Mind. I'm going to go for a Dark Pulse, and because she went for the Moonlight, this Dark Pulse absolutely does nothing. I wish I could have gotten a crit, but I don't. So at this point, I didn't really keep count. I think she maybe have like 2 more, or maybe even 1 more Moonlight. I'm not really too sure. I'm gonna keep using Calm Mind. So I think actually she's done. She has no more Moonlight. So I'm free to just keep using Dark Pulse and finish off this Cresselia. That's exactly what I do. But now that I think about it, I don't know why I do this. I could have just went for the Calm Mind myself and just let this Cresselia burn. Because I don't think this Cresselia has anything else but Sidekick. So yeah, that's why she does not use Moonlight anymore. And yeah, she's finally gone. Finally down. And now she sends out her Lanturn, the bane of my existence, the fearful hugs, the Lanturn. I'm gonna go for my roost so that I won't be weak to electric moves. And she goes straight for the Thunderbolt, but it doesn't even fucking matter because it's a 2-hit KO, easy 2-hit KO, especially while I'm Toxicated. So here I really thought I should have just went for the Calm Minds when I was fighting that Cresselia. I could have at least gotten 2 easy Calm Minds and maybe tank out this Lanturn. Actually, I don't even know. That's not really possible because I still have that toxic damage. And honestly, this fucking Lanturn, this football fish, whatever you call it, or fish, is packing the Assault Vest. So even if I'm at +2, my Dark Pulses won't like scratch this Assault Vested Lanturn. So Assault Vested Lanturn is not to be fucked with, man. Let me tell you, it's pretty amazing. Since Lanturn already has massive HP, with Assault Vest, it's just ridiculous. And then you just invest some special attack onto, you know, invest some EVs onto the special attack, it becomes a monster. So as you see, it's just raping my entire team. So yeah, I'm gonna send out my last Pokemon, my Butch, and honestly, I can't really do anything to it. I can burn it, but honestly, that won't do anything. I can go for the Flare Blitz, but that won't do anything. I can go for Extreme Speed, but yeah, that won't do anything because, you know, Lanturn has massive HP. So yeah, good coverage, man. Good coverage, and just such a good wall. So that Cresselia, man, and this Lanturn just totally destroyed my team. So that was a pretty awesome battle, though. I'm not gonna lie. It's really refreshing to see rarely used or never used Pokemon completely destroy me. I wasn't even afraid of that Dragonite, honestly, and that Dragonite is not even a threat. So it's really hilarious. So thank you guys for watching such an awesome battle and being so patient and watching to the very end. And if you guys like this battle, if you guys like Derpki's team, give that thumbs up, man. Like it and comment. And what can I have done, to make a difference to possibly secure my victory? Leave it on your comment section. As always, thanks for watching, guys.